Hey everyone, this is Ryan from Resume to Offer. It has been a while, so I decided to make a little bit of a video on some advanced job hunting techniques. So these are some techniques that I've picked up and I've tried myself, and I've had other people try it. Some have yielded some great results. So I want to kind of give you guys a few food for thought. It's a beautiful Friday here in Oregon. My gosh, it's like summer even though it's winter. And St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna be doing the beer run. Which will be pretty, like a 10K, which will be pretty fun. Anyway, so advanced techniques that I think can help you utilize, and if you're not getting the results that you want with job hunting, and I know it's a crazy market right now, it is pretty nuts. If I post a job for, say, salespeople, I get like 1,000 resumes in like a few days. If I post a job, there's other ones too that are even more competitive. So I know it's a very competitive market, so you want to do little things that you can do to stand out from the crowd. Okay, a lot of little things that will help get the attention of the right key people and decision makers in the companies. Okay, so here's a few food for thought that you can do. So I've kind of taught in previous videos something where on LinkedIn you can connection request people in the certain company that you're targeting. Okay, you should have a long list of target companies that you're going for. And there's some techniques that we've broken down. Obviously, I recommend higher levels. You can see in the description the link. That is a whole program, basically really deep diving on how to do it. But if you want to reach out with people on connection in a certain company, I would recommend not just one person, but have 3 to 5 people, decision makers in the company that you can reach out to. These people can include a few different areas. One should be like maybe the HR or the recruiting manager or the hiring manager, somebody who's part of that hiring process. The second one is obviously the department that you're trying to get into. If you're in cybersecurity director. If you're in sales, look at people who are account executive or sales director. And then the third party is kind of that C-suite, the people that are at the leadership level, people that you're usually talking to in the panel interview at the end of the whole thing. So this is really important. If you're feeling bold, right, you can choose the CEO. And I would only recommend doing this if it's a smaller company, okay? So small companies that are, excuse me, that are like between 1 to 50 people, reach out to the CEO. If it's over 50 people, they probably get hit up by salespeople for different vendors and B2B things all the time. So the likelihood of you connecting with them is probably not a lot. But you can still talk to maybe the chief operations manager, something I recommend, okay? CFO, COO, CTO. You can definitely hit other C-suite individuals that are decision makers that are part of that hiring process in certain departments, okay? Excuse me. God, I got something stuck in my throat today. Okay, forgive me. I'm not a big editor, so when you see a lot of these videos, I'm like, yeah, I'm not... I have a full pack schedule, so I don't do a lot of editing, or very rarely. Anyway, so we'll keep that in there. Where was I? Yes, so messaging them. Something that you can do also is whenever you actually connect with the person, you can find out their contact information, okay? If you go to the same profile, once you know that they've connected with you and they respond to your message, if you go to their profile and click contact info, all of a sudden you see their work email or their personal email. Wouldn't recommend going to the personal email thing, but now you know their work email. Because of this, you now know the template that is used, the algorithm used for people's emails in the company, okay? People's emails in the company. This is something that can be very effective. So say it's like John Jones at XYZ company, right? And all of a sudden you find out after looking at the profile, it's J.Jones at XYZ company. Obviously, probability, other people's emails are the same format, so you can start playing around with this and messaging different people in the company. Now, don't overdo this because then they're gonna spam you, but you can do this for the people that, say you reached out to 5 key decision makers in that company, trying to get your resume in there, trying to get a little bit of attention, and 2 of them connect, right? Great, you follow up with them, you try to have an interview or at least an informational interview, form a connection for long-term basis. The ones that didn't connect, then you can see that you can use that technique to now understand their email. You can now send it to their email, Okay, if they're not, maybe they're not as active on LinkedIn. It happens all the time. You know, people usually are only on LinkedIn if it's like something that's their day to day. Like if you're in sales, you're doing it every single day. Not everybody's on there. So if they're not on LinkedIn, now you know their email, you can attach their email. If you want to pay a little extra money, you can use Seamless.ai. It's kind of like Zoom Info. It does X-ray, basically gives you the X-ray approach of everybody's contact information. This way you see everybody's email in the company and everybody's phone number. So if you want to do that, it costs a little extra, but this way you can also not just LinkedIn the people, you can send them an email maybe a week later. A week after that, you can even cold call them if you're feeling very adventurous. So something you could do. Next thing. Okay, so next thing that we talked about. If you want to start also using advanced technique, this is something that I've played around with. If you have a little extra moolah, you can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And I know, there's a lot of salespeople that watch this channel. So if you're considering getting into tech sales, you're probably going to be using, I don't know anybody in tech sales who doesn't use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So it might be good to get used to it before you start the role. And also it's something that if you get used to it, it's something you can put on your resume. Huge key thing. Bonus tip, if you have a resume, make sure that you put LSN acronym on the resume, okay? You put LinkedIn Sales Navigator as one of the tools that parentheses LSN. This will make sure that AI HR software has it ping up in kind of like, here's our short list of people. So gives you a better probability. So if you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I think the first 30 days are free and you can cancel after that. It's about $99 a month. So I know that's a little steep for a lot of people. Use your best judgment when you're doing this. But what you can do is if you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and by the way, in this new ebook I'm kind of writing, I break this all down and then some. But if you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, number one, you can see who's in the company, but also who left the company. You can see who left the company. And this is very important because now you can kind of reverse engineer what is the retention rate of the company. If I see a company where 90% of the people have left in the last 2 years, obviously has a terrible retention rate. Or if I see that the current people have only been there maybe 3 to 6 months, there's nobody there longer than that, that also gives me a big hint. So if you're using the free version, you can see kind of the retention from the people there. And you want to see what is the timeline? How long have they been there? Okay. First off, I wouldn't recommend being in a company that's less than 2 years, okay, or even 3 years. You want it longer than that, unless it's the most, unless Mark Cuban was basically running the company, something like that. But for LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can see the people who left. Now, if you're in final stages at an interview, I would kind of recommend maybe messaging the people that left and maybe get their opinion on why. Now, you take it with a grain of salt. Sometimes maybe they just weren't a fit, or maybe something bad happened, or they didn't hit their sales quota. But it might be good to get a perspective on that. So you can message the people who left and just get hey, I'm interviewing at this company, would want to get your opinion on it. Okay? It's a little added bonus to kind of help you with the decision making so you're with the right company for the long term. So you're figuring out the retention rate. The other thing for LinkedIn Sales Navigator is you get InMails. InMails, InMails. This is different than a connection request. And a connection request sends a connection request, and if you attach a note, obviously they see the note. An InMail guarantees that they're gonna see it. It guarantees you get about 150 InMails a day. So that means if you're doing this over a month, you can send 5 a day to key decision makers. And you don't have to, with the notes on LinkedIn, if you're doing a connection request, it only allows you 300 characters. This allows you I think 1,000, something crazy. Gives you a much longer format, and you can attach documents, okay? I've been experimenting with this the last week, and it's yielded some very cool results. But something that you can do, it's a long form message, okay? In the ebook I'm creating, I kind of write the whole template for this, but you write a whole message and you also attach your resume. This gets your resume to the front of the line, gives it right to them. So that's not you can say oh, I applied to the job, and then they're searching. I mean, it shouldn't take them that long, but this way you have it attached, it goes right to them. Let them know that you've also applied or you're looking, but this goes right into their hands. So you now get their full attention. And there's a few other bonuses you can do in that message to make it stand out even more that I kind of break down, but you can use that. So InMails can be very, very effective, especially with attachment and a few of their bonuses. One other bonus that I would recommend, we had a student from higher levels that did this, that landed a job, and he was sending his 30, 60, 90-day plan, basically his sales attack plan. So his blueprint for when he got onboarded, exactly what he was going to do to rev up. And that really captured the attention of the CEO. Okay, so something there that strongly recommend. All right, what else? I think on a final note, you want to be checking the blogs. Like if you, especially as the world kind of comes back out of its shell a little bit, more and more hybrid roles are becoming, it's becoming more popularized. People are going back into the office. So something you can do if you're feeling adventurous, if you look at the blogs, and especially the recruiting team, they should be doing this. They're going to certain career fairs. They're going to certain tech expos. They're going to certain conferences. And they will make sure to post stuff like that because they want to emphasize the career culture, okay? So they want to emphasize the career culture. From this, you can determine, if you start making a list of this, what conferences, career fairs are you can reverse engineer which ones they're going to and which ones more have the likelihood that you can get a face-to-face. You can go right to a face-to-face interview if you go there. And also you do research on the conference itself, like, okay, well, I know they're gonna be there, but also what other companies while I'm there I can kind of talk to and make a good first impression. And I made a video about this already earlier, but the summary is that when you get there early, okay? Most people come 2 hours after it starts. You wanna be the first one there because you're nice and fresh, they're nice and fresh, they're not talked, they're not completely drained from talking to so many people. You wanna be the first ones there. Okay, then you kind of do some research, and at the end of the day, you also do an approach as well so that they remember you. You do like kind of 2 connection points, one at the beginning of the day, one at the end of the day. If you want to think of like a strategy in the middle of the day, send them all LinkedIn requests in the middle of the day and they'll get that ping. I think that'd be pretty fun. So anyway, I hope that helps. Definitely recommend checking out all the tools that I use, all the different things that we use in the description below with links attached. You feel free to use those. There's a few bonuses in there, but it's gonna be a great weekend, man. It is beautiful here. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. Might do some snowshoeing and then I'm gonna do a St. Paddy's Day run, okay? Anyway, guys, hope all is well and happy hunting, okay? Cheers.